I'm going to talk about electroencephalography montages. And one of the ways that I got to thinking about this is when I asked myself and other practitioners, what montage do you use when you use a BIS, bispectral index? And the majority of practitioners didn't know the answer to this. And indeed, when I started using the BIS, I also didn't know which montage I used. So what is a montage? Well, a montage is where the electrodes are placed. And typical bipolar montage is where you have two electrodes per channel, one of which is a reference electrode, and it is a reference in relation to the other electrode. And every electrode can serve as a reference electrode for every other electrode. With the referential montage, typically there is a common reference electrode which serves for all the channels. In relation to the bispectral index, there are four electrodes, one of which is a reference electrode, one of which is a ground electrode, and then the two in the middle are the active electrodes which form the frontal channel for the bispectral index. If you look at the 1020 system of lead placement, you can see where it is likely that the bispectral electrodes will be placed on the frontal pole 1, FP1, and frontal 7. So what does that actually mean? Well, the 1020 system for EEG lead placement is as follows. All the leads on the left-hand side have odd numbers, as you can see, and on the right-hand side have even numbers. Typically, the BIS electrode is placed in the left frontal region from FP1, from the frontal pole 1 to frontal 7. What do the letters designate? Well, FP is frontal pole, F is frontal in general, T temporal, C central, Z is in the midline, parietal, and then occipital around the back. And often the progression is from front to back, the way the EEG is viewed. This is an example of EEG lead placement in the operating room, where 5 leads are placed. And the way that I often place leads in the operating room is with 2 frontal montages represented by the 2 electrodes on either side and the ground or reference electrode in the middle. And this is what it looks like when placed on a patient's forehead in the operating room.